Much, Lisa. Good morning. 3 Australian soldiers have reportedly been shot and wounded by a rogue Afghan soldier in the Uruzgan province. For the details, let's cross to Lane Calcutt, who joins us from Canberra. Lane, what more can you tell us?
Well, Georgie, not a lot at this stage. What we do know is an Afghan national soldier opened fire from a tower, wounding, as you say, 3 Australian soldiers and 2 Afghans. Now, the injuries are non-life-threatening and they're being treated at Tarancot. The Afghan fled in a vehicle and the hunt is now underway for him. We have no idea what led up to this incident or why he opened fire, but it is a real worry coming 10 days after 3 Aussies were killed in a similar incident. This now the 3rd time a rogue Afghan has turned his weapon on his supposed allies. It's got to shake the trust and confidence of our troops, and the question has to be asked, and it will be asked, why is this happening? Is it just a coincidence or some sort of planned assault on our diggers, Georgie?
All right, Lane Calcutt, thank you very much. Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi will step down after the Parliament passes the country's austerity laws, which could be as early as next week. Mr Berlusconi has been under increasing pressure over Italy's mounting debt, and even his coalition allies doubted he had the ability to rein in spending. The last straw came this morning when he failed to get majority backing for a routine vote on budget policy. The 75-year-old is never far from scandal and has this year fended off corruption charges as well as accusations of hiring underaged prostitutes. The Gillard government has warned it'll be watching for companies trying to cash in on the new carbon tax, with huge penalties to be imposed for those caught hiking up prices. The legislation was passed in the Senate yesterday and will come into effect from July next year. Climate Change Minister Greg Combet is now trying to sell the scheme to the public.
And it'll drive innovation and productivity in the economy. It'll be environmentally effective, cutting pollution and driving investment in clean energy sources, and it's socially fair.
Opposition leader Tony Abbott has vowed to repeal the tax if he's elected. Australian Federal Police are warning parents to be vigilant after a rise in cyber criminals collecting data from social networking accounts belonging to children. They say criminals store the data so they can obtain fraudulent credit cards and bank loans once children turn 18. There's evidence that the trend known as warehousing is growing. Parents are being urged to check privacy settings on websites such as Facebook and Twitter. A lawyer for Conrad Murray says he'll appeal his manslaughter conviction, claiming he didn't get a fair trial. The doctor was refused bail yesterday after being found responsible for Michael Jackson's death. He was placed on suicide watch as he spent his first night in prison. In his only interview leading up to the trial, Murray said he knew the importance of keeping Jackson healthy in the lead-up to his comeback tour.
And if he don't get this show done, he's over. This is it. This is the last chance that he has to earn any kind of money.
And you can see that full interview in a special documentary to air on Channel 9 tomorrow night. A massive asteroid is expected to skim past Earth in a few hours. The giant rock, which is almost half a kilometre wide, will make its closest flyby in 200 years.
This is the closest approach by an asteroid that large that we've ever known about in advance.
It's currently spinning through space at about 50,000 kilometres an hour. Scientists say they've been watching the asteroid for 5 years and that there's nothing to worry about. Let's check on the finance figures now. In the US, at the close of trade, the Dow Jones is up by 101 points. On commodities markets, gold is weaker. Oil is up at just about $97 a barrel. And the Aussie dollar mixed right now fetching 104 US cents. Okay.
Yes, indeed. We're in Catherine Gorge this morning with Long John. He's one of the local Jawoyn people who's doing a bit of ochre painting, as his ancestors have been doing for many thousands of years. That is the way that they pass down the history of the land and also their stories. And we shall show you some traditional rock art just after we have a look at the weather this morning, and it is a very good morning too. And there is a lot of it around, plenty of rain around the country today and some warm temps. Cairns, chance of a shower in 29, high 20s for Brisbane and the Gold Coast and fine, and then we're seeing some afternoon showers or storms for Sydney, 30 degrees, Melbourne, some heavy rain and storms expected, 26 degrees, Canberra a few showers and 29 degrees, a little rain developing in Hobart also, a warm day there, 26, a few showers in Adelaide pushing up to 28 degrees today. Perth, we've got a little morning precipitation possible and 22, and then some afternoon showers or storms for the Alice 36, and some showers and gusty storms for Darwin, a top of 33 degrees. Well, behind me in Catherine Gorge this morning, in Gorge number 1, is some naturalistic art which is dated around about 10,000 years old. It was painted in red ochre. Now, this is one of 300 recorded art sites through Nipmuc National Park. Now, they expect there are around 3,000 sites, so there's still many to be recorded and to be found. One of those was only discovered or rediscovered in 2006 and studied last year, and we are going to take you live into that tomorrow. The only way to get in is by helicopter. It's one of the most significant sites in the whole of this area. 10,000 years old, still sitting very proudly up there on the rock wall of Catherine Gorge, and you can really feel when you come in here, Lisa, that there's just more than the land here. There really is a spirit and an energy to this place, and it is one area I think that all Australians have to come and visit. Check out your own backyard.